and welcome to another episode of Everyday Witchcraft. This week's episode is going to be a little different in that I was on the road whenever I was shooting. Phoenix Lenore from Ohio, who I've had on the show multiple times, was with me, and I actually had her be the special co-host. So she did the interview with Julie McMohan, which is the owner of Practical Magic Alabama. Some more tips from Julie once again. She is also an author. She has put out, 5 books. She's working on 3 more coming out. She is a host of a podcast that's been out for a little while. We'll talk about that a bit. And she's just starting a YouTube channel as well. You are here on Everyday Witchcraft. I am visiting.
Are we looking there?
You're looking right here. It's so funny. Just to let you know, okay, this is PG, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, I'm so happy to be here again at Practical Magic. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on with the shop, and then let's get into the show.
That's a long list. So where do we go? So Practical Magic and Raven's Grimoire. We just start, today we have our 1-year birthday. We survived a year in Decatur, Alabama. So, and so with the store starting up last June, we've been busy. Like, we now have our podcast on Spotify, the Witchy B-Word Club podcast on Spotify, and now we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully more platforms coming soon.
Yeah, so we're working on expanding our platform. So, we now have a producer for the show, so he's going to try to get us on more platforms and stuff. And so the podcast was mostly about like witchy topics. We just stir the cauldron of the latest topic, and then, you know, we complain about it, and then we share the knowledge that we do have on the subject. And it's pretty entertaining. It's not kid friendly. But if you need a good laugh and you want to laugh with us, yeah, we do. And we do have a lot of squirrel moments. So, yeah.
Give us an example.
Oh, gosh.
Squirrel moment?
Squirrel moment.
We just, we're all very neurospicy, so.
So Helena's talking about we're now having our podcast on YouTube because people wanted to see what we look like and they wanted to see more interaction. So we started our YouTube channel. And so our first episode, we ordered these oddity mystery boxes. And of course, Raven ordered them. So she's opening them up and I'm like, I want that. And she was like, no, it's mine. And I'm like, fine, I'm going to remember that because when I get my own box, you can't have none of it. So that episode was really cool. I want the duck. She won't let me have the duck.
I think we could display it in the store.
We can't display this. Apparently we found out that ducks have teeth. It was really cool. And then
it makes so much more sense. We thought they swallowed the fish hole.
I thought they swallowed.
They have teeth
too. Yeah, apparently. Oh, yeah. And then we so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna order my own oddity boxes. And so I got them off of eBay. And I bid on it, and I noticed nobody else bid on it. That should have been my first red flag. Well,
I thought your first red flag should have been the name of the company.
It was Nightmare Society, and they were true to their name.
That's coming soon.
We haven't even seen the final cut yet.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of screaming. So I opened this box. Okay, when I first opened the box, I'm like, oh my god, that smells horrible. What did I order? And so I started opening it up, and it had bones, and it had stickers, it had hair stuck to the stickers. I was like, okay.
None of the bones were clean.
And none of the bones were clean. I was like, so Raven's got a pile that she's gonna be cleaning here soon. And then so I get to the bottom of the box and I see fur, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There's something, you know, hair in there, and I see the coloring of a raccoon. I was like, oh, I got a raccoon tail. That's so cool. It started moving.
Not cool.
It started moving when I went to grab it. So Nightmare Society, you live up to your name.
I'm still having nightmares.
No.
We just posted that immediately.
Our producer, he runs in, he was like, I'm gonna take it out. I'm like,
Apparently that was supposed to be there, right? Like, that's what
no. Well, I messaged the lady or gentleman that mailed it to us, And I was like, you know, I told them who we were. We were with the Witchy B Word podcast, and you know that we
Witchy fish, okay?
Fish. Yeah, fish.
Talking to Julie. So I messaged them. I'm like, hey, cool box. If you guys could do a favor though, next time, like, you know, you're sending a box of dead things, can you make sure everything in the box is dead? Because yeah, like I was driving home and I was like, oh my god, I'm like, and like we're sitting there like touching everything in the box and we're just like,
Yeah. I was in the middle.
You were in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put her in the middle. That way she can't run away.
I tried.
She was like, "Ow, climb under the
I
table."
was gonna say I just go to the floor. There's no way.
I was scanning the room.
Yeah, stay tuned for when that episode airs.
Tell us how to find you then. Are you currently on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
I know you're.
Yeah, so we have the first episode already aired on YouTube, so you can find it on our YouTube channel. And then we have our podcast right now. It's in season 2, and that's on Spotify. And
We're
then
also on Facebook.
yeah, we also have the Facebook page too.
How do they find you?
Facebook is
user-friendly.
Yeah. Facebook is the Witchy BTCH, because even Facebook doesn't like it. So, you know, they hate on witches, and then they also hate on it, you know, things. And we post a lot of like behind the scenes stuff too, especially when so Raven's husband, his name's Ken, and she works with Loki, and so I know a lot of people are like, what is #butt magic?
Oh, geez.
That is from our podcast. It was a joke, and it's gone viral.
It's gone too far.
That's amazing.
Thanks a lot, Chris. So we made our own god deity named Kanoki, and he is the Lord of Butt Magic. And so if you go on our, oh yeah, we also have a TikTok channel too.
Yeah.
And so I made a TikTok video of us dressing him up in a belly dancing costume, and you see him twerk. It's hilarious. So that's
I think
behind
it's
the
on the
scenes.
Practical Magic page though.
Is it?
I
Okay.
think so,
And
yeah.
Practical Magic Alabama in Decatur, Alabama. Make sure that there's.
Yes, there's so many. So when I first started Practical Magic AL, that was like 4 years ago, and I was just a booth in a consignment shop, and I was like, okay, we'll just do AL for Alabama. You know, my website's practicalmagical.com, and then now if you go online, it's like Practical Magic, Practical Magical, Practical Magic AL, and I'm
But
like,
you spell your name the right way, MAGICK.
MAGICK. Yeah.
Right. So that's important because
Yeah.
you know, make sure everybody. All right. So on Facebook, it is. Let's just kind of go through Facebook. It is to find your show. What is it?
It's the Witchy BTCH Club podcast.
And then on YouTube, how do they find your channel?
We'll
We'll get that.
Is it B Star?
YouTube
okay.
is,
We'll get it.
is adult friendly.
Okay, YouTube is adult friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will ask you if you're 18 years or older. You know you're gonna lie. We all do. Okay.
So, and you know what? I'm gonna put a picture of your sign with this too,
Okay.
so that
Okay.
people can find you.
Awesome.
But podcast it's on Spotify and all the others, the Apple, everything, I'm sure.
We're getting there.
You're getting there. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now it's only on Spotify right now.
Okay.
But
Okay. But
we're
it
a
will
work in
be.
progress.
Okay. Great. And then
We didn't expect it to just
blow
Blow
up.
up. Yeah.
We were just
Not
we
that
were
we're
just a bunch
bad
of
about
best
it.
friends just goofing off with the microphone, and then all of a sudden, like, we have customers that are like, we need more, and I'm like, y'all heard them, let's go.
Let's do it. I told you
So-
what this next year is gonna be like. For you.
Yes, yes.
It's gonna
So
yeah.
hopefully
Cool.
it's okay.
It's
No,
gonna be
Atalanta
okay.
said it was gonna be good, so I tried.
It's gonna be better than good.
I'm gonna
She
trust the
needs to
process.
like get a rest now because it's
I'm gonna
gonna be
trust the
cool.
process.
Trust that process. Let it happen organically. Wonderful. Thank you so much for telling us about your show. We're super excited about it. And we're going to do some more footage for this episode of your shop because we love it here.
Oh, our podcast and our stores are also hosting the Maven Festival.
Oh yeah, the Maven
Yeah.
Festival.
Oh.
So it's going to be the first
That's
Pagan
right.
Festival in Decatur, Alabama.
Oh,
So we're super excited about that.
Decatur.
how many vendors do you have signed up yet? Do you
We
have
have 40
Yeah.
official vendors, but we're still taking applications in July.
Okay.
And we have one food truck already signed up. So the festival's going to be September 23rd this year, 2023. It's going to be at the
Daikin
apparently
Amphitheater.
I can't pronounce that right. They kept saying Dakin, and they kept
The Daikin Amphitheater.
like, I want Alabama education, leave me alone. Yeah, y'all and hear all about it on our podcast. And so we're gonna have a bunch of vendors. There's gonna be food. There's gonna be live music.
Dancing.
Yeah, we got belly dancers. We're gonna have a kids corner where kids can do crafts and stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of fun for just family fun. And it's gonna be for celebrating falls and the Maven. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Very cool. Okay, now they can get that information on your Facebook page for your shop, right?
Yes,
All of them.
yep.
We're
Raven's
posting on
Grimoire.
everything,
Yep.
Okay,
It's everywhere.
maybe that's what they need to do. Just go to that Facebook page.
Yeah. And then Raven also has her website up.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that for a minute. Yes.
No, my website is up. It's not done.
Oh, it's okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe
do like
I'm
a
gonna
check out
have a whole lot
Raven's
of new
Grimoire.
products coming in on my website.
We'll
Stay
do
tuned on
a spotlight on that whenever you get it. We'll do that.
She's a lot braver than me. I can't figure out the online shipping and stuff. I can't do it.
I have an automatic thing on mine. I cheat. So
See, I'm like, give me people, and I'm like, yeah, sure, let me show you the crystals and stuff. Give me an online. I'm like,
Dana. Well, I messed up with the shipping for a little while. I said that it was $10 to go to Australia, and
Yeah.
I
and
did
it was
that
like
same
40 or
thing.
50. Yeah, it was.
I did that
Yeah.
same thing. My first business was the Anchor's Wife, and I had sold these picture frames on Etsy, and it went to Wales, and I sold the picture frames for $16, and I only no, it was like $12, and then I charged $4 for shipping. It ended up being like $16 to mail it, and I'm like, well, at least somebody in Wales has the picture frames I made. So
Yeah. I mean, but sometimes that
I
happens
haven't figured
for a
out the
reason. People
international
need
portion yet, so it's just gonna be the United States for now.
for now.
Yeah.
But you don't want to
Yeah,
do it.
it's gonna
because
branch out. Yeah.
it will. Absolutely.
I just need to do a little more research on the shipping.
Yeah. I can show you some mistakes.
okay. United States Postal Service. Why aren't y'all making it easier? Come on now.
I know, they handed me a sheet and it was a lot of numbers.
The sheet
I
numbers.
checked out.
Yeah, I did too.
Talk to me like I'm Tarzan, okay? I have an Alabama education.
Alabama.
I
I can't even say it.
because I do. I graduated here.
I did too.
Oh my God. Did y'all graduate from Decatur? In Decatur or
I did.
Huntsville? Or, okay.
I was in Harvest, Alabama.
I know that is.
Sparkman. Yep, Sparkman High School.
I grew up here.
Nice. Feel like I'm not going there.
Baby.
I am a baby.
You are a baby. Oh my God. I can't even remember. Too far back.
My birthday's next month. I turned 32.
Oh, I turned.
Same.
Mine's next month too.
You know what,
When's your
though?
birthday?
July 17th.
I'm 20. Yeah. Birthday, babies.
How did I know she's a Leo? How did I know?
Could you tell? Going to the back fixing the
She's
makeup.
just so confident. I freaking love Atalanta.
Oh my
She's so
God.
confident. Like she just walks in the room, she's like, "My Disney." I'm like, I'm gonna be her one day.
Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna be
you're
her.
so funny. I'm gonna be you one day with all these books. Talk about your books real quick.
Oh my gosh. So I have 5 books. So basically, I have written stuff. I've written books on, magical herbs, the Book of Teas, spell jars, protection and cleansing, and then the craft for beginners. So basically, what I did was customers kept coming in asking me the same questions over and over and over again, and I started feeling like I was a broken record. So I was like, okay, how can I simplify this to where, because I mean, you go to look for information, it's like this book over here, that book over there, that web page there, and God for people, on TikTok. So I'm like, let me just Tarzan it down, how I learn, and try to make it as simple as easy. And so, yeah, those are on Amazon. They do ship internationally, so check out your Amazon. And
You can purchase them on your website as well, right?
well, if you go to my website, it takes you to Amazon.
Oh,
I ain't doing the shipping.
We're gonna do a little spot if you have a few minutes on your books, like what they encompass and stuff like that. We'll do that too. And I know that you have to get going soon, so I'm gonna let you go. But I want to say thank you. I'm gonna get a picture of your sign. We're gonna post that, and I'm gonna bother you a lot more today because the show's gonna be kind of
bother.
I know, right?
all day long. I'm gonna be all day long.
He's like, dang it, Atlanta.
Oh my God.
We love you.
Well, I love you. Thank you for taking the time for me and explaining all the goodies about the show. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. I am Phoenix Lenore, and I am here with Julie McMohan, owner of Practical Magic, Alabama. How's it going today, Julie?
It's going great. I'm doing good.
What are we celebrating today?
Today is the 1-year anniversary of my own physical store being open.
Yay! That is
So unbelievable.
so awesome. I'm so proud of you and so happy
We survived
for
our
you.
first year.
Yes, they made
Milestone.
it. Now, many more years to come, most
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
So I want to ask you about herbal bath and magical bath.
Ooh, I love my herbal
and
bath.
ritual baths and all of the things. So what can you tell us?
So the best thing I love, so for me, I'm a water element. I'm a Cancer, and so I love water. I was born and raised in San Diego, California, so I grew up by the ocean. I love water. It's just so purifying and cleansing. I love it. And actually, one of my books, I talk about how you can do cleansings with just anytime you have water. If you're, like, say you're washing your hands, you know, like say you're at work and you're having a bad day, go in the bathroom, you know, get some soap in your hands, you know, and watch the bubbles and just look at the bubbles and imagine it's just absorbing all the negative energy out of you. And then what do? You rinse it off, let it go down the drain, flush it away from you. You know, you can do that when you're, you know, finishing using the bathroom. You flush the toilet, flush the negativity away. When you're in the tub, you know, soak in that water, let the water absorb all that negative off of you and then absorb the good from the water. And then when you pull that drain, watch it all go down that drain and just push it away. And once it goes down the drain, it's down the drain. It's not coming back. So let it go with that water, let it flow. And so like Raven's Grimoire, she's a vendor in my store. She makes these purification baths. And they are I love them so much. And so what I like to do is I like to mix some Florida water in it. And so between her baths and the Florida water, it smells amazing. Oh my gosh, so good. And so literally just soak in it for a good 20-30 minutes, pull that drain and let it go. Let it go.
Are there any, like if somebody wanted to make their own herbal or Epsom salt bath at home, are there any particular herbs that you would recommend, or would that be based on the bath that they're wanting to perform?
I think it like I would basically go by what your intentions for. So if I was to do like a healing bath, I would use eucalyptus, lavender, chamomile. If you're doing like protection, if it's a mother and child or, you know, a family loved one, I would do like motherwort or let's see, you can do a little bit of mugwort. You can do nettles leaf. I'm like trying to go through my I'm trying to go through my bookcases of herbs. I'm like, okay, vervain would be a good one too. Like if you want to do a prosperity bath, you could do basil, dill, love dill. Like any of my prosperity spell work, I always have dill in there. Cinnamon. I don't know if I want to bathe in. I burn a little. Yeah, that's my thing. If you're wanting to do love, you know, basically any flower, because just all flowers are all love. Jasmine is a good aphrodisiac. Rose, of course, rose. Rose is also a good substitute for all flowers too. Lavender, calendula flower, you know,
Are there any particular crystals that we should or shouldn't use in the bath?
So you always want to, you know, double check, you know, like selenite, don't put that in water. Black tourmaline, don't put that in water. Anything that is flaky, you know, kyanite, no, don't put those in water. Like there was one time I was leaving Walmart and there was this little bag that had a bunch of crystals in it and it was in the middle of this puddle and I was like, I must save the crystals. And so I opened it up. I got home and I opened it up and it was black tourmaline in it and it was just all falling apart. I was like, yep, don't put black tourmaline in water.
Yeah. Is there any difference with the baths between like maybe a polished stone and an unpolished stone?
So there's a lot of people always like, how do I want to say it? So all crystals have different energies. Yeah. And so there's some people that say, you know, once it's been tumbled and it has like that wax polish on it, you know, it's no longer, you know, as powerful as a raw. And depending on the stone and what I'm using the stone for. If I'm using something for like my home or like for a personal space, like my altar, or, you know, like at my house, my front door, my back door, I have a piece of black obsidian and then a piece of rose quartz, and they're both raw, it's big chunks, and I keep it by the front door, by the back door. That way it keeps protection and it keeps love inside the home and all the negative energies outside. So, but for me personally, like if you change the color of a car, it's still a car. So, I mean, I'm like, if the energy, like if it's tumbled and I feel good energy on it, I'm going to use it. So, you know, like, don't judge on this. No judging.
No judge. With herbs, would you recommend that they put them in a satchel and add them, or like make a strong tea first and then add that to bath water?
So everybody's different when they're doing their spirit baths. Like I've heard people just dump them in the tub. Like so Raven, her bath salts that she makes, they're all mixed together with the salt that's in the jar, and you just dump it in the tub. It does get messy, you know, and I'm a lazy witch, so I love using a tea bag and just like you can get like the 4x6 tea bags actually, and so I don't have a bathtub anymore. We just bought our first house and we don't have a bathtub, so that's why anytime we go anywhere, I'm like, does the hotel have a bathtub? Is it plus size friendly? I will pay extra. So yeah, wherever we go, I'm like, I'm taking a bath. So I love getting those big 4x6s, and those are actually great too. So if you don't have a bathtub, you can hang it up in the shower.
And let the water run through.
And then another customer of mine, she has one of those big plastic tubs.
Yeah.
And so even though she has a shower, she'll put it at her feet and put the herbs in the tub. Okay. And so as the water's coming down, she just soaks her feet in it. And so that's how she does it. So everybody's different. If it works for you, there's no right or wrong answer. You know, everybody's energy is different. Everybody's, you know, paths are different. So if you do something and like it calls to you, do it. If you hear something that I say that, you know, works for me, if it works for you, heck yeah, great, use it. You know, I'm not gonna say, oh no, that was mine first. We have no right to say that. And then like if I say I do something and you're like, I'm gonna do that too, but I'm gonna do it this way, go for it.
So with people that might not be able to actually sit in a bathtub, the shower thing would work. What about like a foot bath kind of?
Oh yes, foot baths are great too. Just like that girl, you know, she's in the shower soaking her feet. I mean, if you get, you know, just like they have like those foot baths, you know, with like the bubble stuff, you know. Like those I wouldn't pour direct herbs into it because it will clog it. But that's when those tea bags come in handy. I love those tea bags. They're fantastic.
That would be great for travel too, because you can load it up and take it with you.
Oh yeah.
Now I've read in some things and just researching a little bit, people say, or authors have recommended pouring the water over top of yourself or submerging yourself in the tub. And how do you feel about that practice?
So for me, I have sensitive ears. I get someone's ears really easily, so I can't dunk my head. Now what I will do is I'll take a wet washcloth and I will soak it in it, and then I will put it up to my face and just let it like just soak it in, you know. And then I mean, I'll definitely take a cup, and you know, if I'm just, you know, I'm a big girl, you know, I can't like lean in it. I'm 6 foot tall too, so it's like kind of hard to lay down fully in the bathtub. So yeah, I'll take a cup and just, you know, pour it on, you know, pour it down the back, you know.
Now, do you recommend people basically pre-cleanse, take a shower before they would do a ritual bath?
Again, it depends. Like there's times where I'm like, no, let's just do it. Let's just get this done over with. You know, I'm French. I'm like, I ain't got time to take a shower, then soak in the bath, and then, you know, take another shower. Now, I've done spiritual baths and then taken a shower afterwards, you know, because, you know, you get herbs in certain places.
Yes.
So, but if you feel like you need to, you know, wash first and then do, definitely, you know, if that's a better way to help you purify your energy, purify yourself before this, do it.
And then I've also read too, not to dry yourself off with the towel afterwards, to let yourself air dry. You
can. Now for me, I got dogs. There's certain herbs that, you know, animals can't have. And so my babies, they love to like try to like help mommy dry off, like licking the legs and stuff. And I'm like, no. But, and then also like, I got tile on my floor, so I
yeah.
always slip and fall on my butt.
Completely.
So, but really, it just, that's when it all comes down to, what does your energy feel like? If you feel like you need to be laying there, air drying yourself, just, letting, the element of air help
cleanse that.
help finish the cleansing process, go for it. If you feel like, you can just take that towel and pat dry, go for it. But like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. It's more, what does your energy call for? What does your intuition tell you? A lot of times too is when it comes to these spiritual baths and stuff, any type of cleansing, whether you're, doing a bath, you're, smudging your house, whatever you're doing, it's all about your intention.
Yeah.
So if you're in your mindset and you're saying, okay, I'm pushing out all the negative energies away from me, that's literally, you're pushing that energy away from you. And so there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what's going on in here. Because this right here is your number one tool.
Definitely.
It's literally your number one tool. That's where your third eye is. That's where your intuition's starting at. So between your brain, your heart, and your gut, those three things are the biggest tools you have. Absolutely. And a lot of people don't take advantage of them.
Right.
They forget about them. And it's like, you guys are your number one tool. Stop neglecting it. Take care of it. Rest, eat well, drink water, do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Everybody wants to give and like, I'm going to do this for you and I'm going to do that. You can't save the world on an empty cup.
Very true.
A lot of people forget that.
Yes.
So make sure you take care of yourself. Come on.
Yeah, because if you're empty giving it to everyone else, you're going to deplete yourself and run yourself down and not be any good for yourself or anybody else.
Hey. Been there, done that.
How do you feel about giving kids a ritual bath?
So those I think are perfectly fine. Kids' skin is more sensitive, so you do have to be very cautious about that. I would definitely recommend doing the tea bag. I wouldn't let the herb, go full contact on the skin.
Right.
Yes, okay. And then I would just do like a little pinch, like lower dosage. Yeah. Because kids have a lot of sensitive skin, and by that, they're young. We don't know their full allergies.
What they're allergic to.
We don't need a kid doing a spiritual bath and also breaking out in hives. Kind of ruins the experience.
I did a little medicinal bath on my son. This was years ago. Please forgive me. He's 27 now. And I misread how much cayenne to put in the water. So instead of a teaspoon, I put a tablespoon in. Oh, poor baby. And it was a little spicy. Just a smidge spicy for him. He forgave me. But I, after that, always double checked and made sure that I clearly looked at the amount I was supposed to be adding, as to not set anyone else's rear end on fire.
There's a huge difference between teaspoon and tablespoon.
Yes, there is. And it was one of those quick moments. We were stressed. He was like miserable. And I don't know if it really made him any more miserable, but it did break the fever and it helped him out.
I mean,
so it worked.
I mean, we got the end results. That's good.
I gotta be mindful. Be mindful of that is all.
Let me ask you this: Does he like spicy food or no?
Yes, we're all spicy.
Oh, good. So
we're all spicy. Even my 4-year-old granddaughter.
Oh wow.
Eats spice. They eat tahini and chamoy on all sorts of fruit. I'll basically make a charcuterie board of fruit, and we just drizzle chamoy all over it and tahini, and they go
where
crazy.
We're going after this, y'all.
They go crazy over it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's great for them, keeps them hydrated. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other crafty. Yeah, that was. I'm sorry, son. Mama truly still apologizes 20 years later.
It's always a learning experience.
It is. It definitely.
But see, and then you shared the lesson, so hopefully somebody else won't do that.
So no one else do that to your child when you're trying to break their fever. Don't put too much cayenne in the bath bar.
Yep.
But it did help open him up and make him sweat and get all of that out. So it served its purpose.
Yeah. Wasn't a waste. It worked.
It wasn't a waste. It worked out well. And so generally when you do these baths, you do end up, your pores open up and you sweat a lot. Do you just recommend hydrating with water afterwards or tea?
Yes. So for me personally, I love lemon water.
Okay.
Citrus is really good for the kidneys, and so it's really good for the skin. So, I mean, even while I'm in the tub, so I don't like being hot. even though I love a hot bath, it's so contradicting. I know.
understand.
So I love a nice cold icy cup of lemon water. I love it. And so I mean I'll sit there and sip on that. And so as I'm the negatives going out, I'm putting in the good.
Put the
So
good in.
I'm like I'm in that water. I'm recycling energies.
Flushing it all out.
Exactly.
Flushing it out through the inside.
I definitely drink lots of water, especially for the pores and stuff. And depending on the herbs too, like if there's a certain type of herb, it is recommended to do shower afterwards because if you're, you don't want to wake up covered in hives because you had a later delay of reaction or something. So especially like if you're not using a tea bag, so if you got loose herbs everywhere, definitely take a shower afterwards to make sure you know.
How do you feel about adding milk?
I love putting milk. I've never done the honey. So before I had Practical Magic is actually like my fourth business I've ever had. If you fail, it's a lesson. It's not don't give up.
The door for something
and
else.
So I used to make these milk salt baths, and I put dry powdered milk in them, and it's really good for your skin, and it's got that lactin in it, so milk is fantastic for your skin. What does the honey do? I've never done the honey.
Honey has the antimicrobial properties and all of that. Add it to sweeten up the blend a little bit, and it's moisturizing as well to the skin.
Ooh. I need to give me some honey. Now I know what to do next time. Okay.
I had my granddaughter probably about a month ago over, and they both needed a bath. And I had rose petals because I just had some roses, and they were dying or not looking so great. And I was like, girl, what about a rose and milk bath?
Oh, fancy.
So when you're 4 and 6, you get a little bit spoiled at grandma's house, and you get a rose and milk bath. I did squirt a little honey in there because they were fighting with each other, so I needed to sweeten up the pot a little bit.
Love it.
And it did seem to help. They were nice and calm afterwards. It could have been the lovely warm bath.
I would have
that
never thought of that. Like I've done like a honey jar to sweeten somebody up. Put it in the bath.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just a little squirt,
Yeah.
And it didn't really make the, it wasn't a mess to clean up or anything. But I was like, oh, this is the last bit of milk. We've got these rose petals.
Oh.
Let's throw you guys in
now
there.
I know what I'm doing next. Okay. Yeah.
And I just put a little strainer, the little hair catch strainer in there when I let the water out so that it caught the rose petals and then just tap those out instead of trying to fish them out. Now, I have had issues with clay baths and getting that out of the tub. Do you have any recommendations for that?
That's a lot of rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
Because I tried to scrape most of the
try to scrape
out,
what you can out, and then just like, all right, you know what? We're just gonna rinse, repeat, repeat. Hot water works great.
And textured tubs don't really work the best with that. Just to let you know.
Yes.
You gotta actually get the scrub brush out for that.
Now for me, I messed up. So you know those like suction cup things that go in the bottom? Yeah, I put that at the bottom. Like I forgot to take that out. Oh my gosh, it was I just threw it away. I was like, all right, we're just gonna get a new one. I'm not scrubbing this. The bath was great. The clay felt amazing, but no.
I like the cleanup was not the most fun.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate. I hate cleaning. So I'm like, if I could find any way to not do this. So pretty much when it comes to the clay bath, I'm like, I'm just gonna do the foot
bath.
Yeah,
with that
I'll just do that. Yeah.
Because you're still getting the detoxing.
Yep.
And everything pulls through the pores of the feet a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
So
the feet is connected to everything.
It's funny, people don't realize if you rub a clove of garlic on the bottom of your foot that you'll smell it out of your mouth and your other body parts.
Oh yeah.
It'll come out like your skin, and that's just shows you how good it is for absorbing and all of the things.
My mom was notorious slice of onion on the foot with a pair of
socks. Oh yeah.
Potato.
I've had the onion.
That country magic.
Haven't had the potatoes, but we've had the onions put in our socks before.
Nope.
And we smelled lovely in the morning, but we felt a whole lot better.
Yep.
Most definitely.
I'm allergic to everything, and I always have sinus.
We're back on Everyday Witchcraft with Julie, who owns Practical Magic Alabama in Decatur, and that's with a TK, by the way. How are you?
Doing good.
Thank you for letting me, pick your brain a little bit about your new show coming up. But now we're going to get down there. I don't want to hear it. When you get my age, then you can play. So she is an author of a few books. What, 5?
Yep, 5.
And don't you have another one coming out?
I'm working on 3, but
3 more coming out.
right now my next one I'm working on is on manifesting.
That's fantastic. And she has a huge year ahead of her. We did a reading yesterday. Huge. This last year just blew up. It was beautiful. But this next year, I was like, get your rest now, girl, because you're in for quite a ride. So
I'm already ready for a nap.
No napping. Got to keep moving. No, you really do. You need to take care because this next year's.
No, I'm ready though.
It's good stuff. It's all.
I got a good try behind me.
Yeah, she does. Tell us a little bit about your books. You have different ones for different things.
Yes. So with my book, basically customers kept coming into my store asking me the same questions over and over again. And so I was just like, you know what, let's do this. Let me try to Tarzan it as much as I can. Let me try to simplify it as much as possible because, people were going through so many different resources for the same answers. And I'm like, okay, let's just put it all together, make it simple and easy to follow. And basically, like with my writing, I try to make it to where like I'm talking to you. It's not just like reading a textbook.
Right.
So I try to make it as, personal as possible. So my first book was the Book of Herbs. This one took me 2 years to write. Well, these two both. I literally was like writer's block, so I go to this one. Writer's block, go to that one. So, but yeah, the Book of Herbs. I was just so tired of finding medicinal purposes, and I'm like, I need magical purposes because I love my spell jars, I love my spell candles, and so and I love herbs, but I was like kept finding medicinal. I'm like, I need magical, and the only thing really you could find was Scott Cunningham, which he's fabulous. But I was like, I want to do one more personal for me, and so this was actually just my Book of Shadows. Oh, and I had it in a binder, and I had it on my showcase in my store, and everybody was like, "Are you selling this?" And I'm like, no, that took me a long time to collect all that information. No, I'm not selling it. And so finally somebody was like, could you please turn this into a book? And I was like, I'll try it. And there we go.
Turn it into a book.
And then, so that was my first one, Book of Herbs. And then the next one was The Craft for Beginners. Literally, I love how this book turned out because it explains how, for witchcraft tools, it's not just, what's on your table, it's also what's in your mind, your heart, your hands, what tools do you have that you already own. So that's a big part of this book, and so my third book was Protection and Cleansing. So this was probably the number one questions I get from my customers because so many people are like, how do I cleanse my home? How do I cleanse myself? How do I protect myself? How do I shield myself? So this has all the basics simplified as much as possible. I tried. So for me, if you try to put me like in a textbook form or something like that, I'm not going to follow. So you have to simplify it for me. That's how I learn. And then I have to be hands-on. So when I try to write as if I'm writing for myself. And so I try to simplify as much as possible. And so it's easy to follow along. And then of course, with, I have my website, practicalmagical.com. So if you have any questions on any of the books, you please feel free to message in and be like, hey, what does this mean? Or hey, what does that mean? I'd be happy to help you on that one. So that's a good book too, probably. So this one was written after the TikTok craze.
Oh, okay.
Spell jars. So many people were asking me recipes and stuff for spell jars, and I'm like, it's your spell jar. It's your intentions. It's what, you put what you want in it. When you go to put a teaspoon of basil, what is your intentions for that basil? So I made a couple of recipes, but in the beginning of this book, I try to explain to people, if you want to use it, use it. If you don't. Substitute. You can substitute. It's in a jar. You're not consuming it. So, you do you. Whatever. It's your magic. And that's the one thing a lot of people don't realize is you have magic and you are your strongest tool. And so your intentions, that's what my next book is going to be about, is setting your intentions. And literally, you can manifest anything with whatever you have your hands on. Our ancestors didn't have practical magic down the street, get all their herbs and crystals and stuff. So what did they do? They went and forged what they could find, and they used substitutes, and they, followed what their intuition was telling them. So,
and a jar won't do you any good unless you have the intention behind it. Exactly. Won't do any good. It's just stuff. Exactly. You got to have that intention with it.
But I love it because, there's 52 spells in there, and you can make them however you want. And then there's even a section in the back where you can make your own spell jars, recipes and stuff. So that was cool. It was a lot of fun to do. So and then so I did the spell jar book. So I was like, let's do spell teas. So this one has 40 tea spells in there, and so like it goes from a tea for each chakra, a tea for each zodiac sign. Basically, I was just like, all right, what is customers are constantly asking me about? Like, what are they like? Hey, I need a spell for money. I need a spell for health. I need a spell for this. I was like, let's do, consume your spells. Consume your spells. But talk to your doctor first.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor.
So yeah, that's it. I'm not a licensed physician. By the way, I'm going to steal your idea.
For starting out, your best friend is going to be knowledge. Something my grandfather always told me was knowledge is the one thing nobody can take away from you. And so, like, read books. So I tell a lot of my customers that, when it comes to learning new things, what intrigues you, especially in the craft, you got to think of your energy like your paycheck. You work really hard for that money. You're not going to go spend $600 on golf clubs if you don't golf. So, you're not going to drive down the freeway making it rain out the window. Why do that with your energy? So say like you're wanting to do herbology and astrology and you get all these books, but the astrology is just not clicking for you, but herbs are. So that means your intuition is saying focus on the herbs, put the astrology to the side. It can come back around, but right now your energy is wanting to focus on herbology. So that can go with anything, whether it be deity work, shadow work, whatever.
I've already kind of went into that avenue and without knowledge, or a mentor or something, and now it's a little too late. They have to get rid of it. Yeah. But go into your local store, your local shop,
anywhere you're at. Even if you just go into your local shop and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Can you at least lead me to somebody who can actually help me?
Right. And you'll find help.
Oh yeah, you definitely will.
You can do almost everything.
They will go above and beyond. Like
you
when I get customers like that, I'll cleanse them right here in the store for free.
That's what
I'm
I was
like,
saying.
no, you don't have to pay a dime. Like I will cleanse you. Like come on now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they come back and they become regulars, and we become friends. So reach out to your local people because there's help out there. So don't focus on TikTok. Yo, it's for entertainment. It's great. Oh yeah, I love that witchy aesthetic. Oh yeah, I'm like, I'll be looking at TikTok. I'm like, man, I wish my bedroom was like that, or man, I wish my altar looked like that. That's great. But just like that one girl that came in, oh my gosh, did I ever tell you about that protection tea? There was this girl. She came into my store, and so she's like, I saw this protection tea on TikTok, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so whenever I have young ones come in and they're wanting to consume something, I always double check the herbs. I'm like, okay, so this is what you're drinking. And so she brings me this pile of herbs. One of them was mistletoe.
Oh, Lord.
She was wanting to drink mistletoe. Wow. And I was like, you can't drink that, honey. You can't put that in a tea. And she was like, yes, I can. It was on TikTok. Just because it's on TikTok doesn't mean it's true. You've got to cross-examine. Like, if you're online looking for research, cross-examine at least 3 to 4 times because Billy Joe Bob.
Places, too.
Yeah.
There are so many. That's actually a show I'm going to be doing with Chris Firestone coming up. She's really big on Facebook. I mean, huge on Facebook, big following. And she knows a lot about the whole social media thing and the dangers of it, the good things about it. There are a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of communities online, on whether it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those that are fake. They will do, a beautiful background, like you said, oh, it's so pretty and everything. And they literally get dressed up in front of a little spot, do their little thing, and then they don't practice at all. Yeah. It's just, right here. It's just for like fame. And then there are some that are so knowledgeable and good and pure.
Like for me personally, so I do a lot of like energy aura cleansing and stuff. And so I was like, I want to add more to it. So now I'm trying to learn Reiki. So I'm trying to see if I can incorporate those two together. So, as you grow, like I've had customers come in here that have been practicing 50, 60 years.
Right.
And they're still learning.
Right. Well, you always
so
much. If you think you know it all, then I'm so sorry. You always want. And if you have all this wealth of knowledge, definitely give back. I mean, pass it.
Write a book,
or 5 or 8. But yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm gonna kind of haunt you all day today. And congratulations on your shop. Thank you.
She was the one that actually, like, I did my first reading from you at Cauldron Fest of 2022, and you're the one that predicted this.
Well, yeah, but she's a hard worker. She's gonna succeed in it. So it is true.
She gave me the motivation. She was like, "You're gonna get it." And I'm like, "You know what? I am."
There was I was going to do it. Yeah, there was no doubt. But this next year, it's going to be like,
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm taking all y'all with me.
yep, that's right. That's right. I mean, that's what you do. You carry people with you. That's what it's
Yeah.
about. But anyway, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Blessed be, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
Use loose change to scatter throughout your yard to keep evil spirits busy and from coming into your home. You may also scatter loose change at your doorstep to pay for the protection that your ancestors may give.
We're back with Wendy, and we're going to see what she does. What exactly do you do, Wendy?
I am an evidential medium, and I focus on suicides, overdoses, sudden deaths. And my website is But You Didn't Say Goodbye, because I was suicidal myself. I bought poison and drank everything else. And so from what I've learned from my experiences is that we go through the hardest things to be able to help people. So the spirits that died of a lot of drug overdoses or suicide or whatever, they recognize that in me, that I had those feelings. I understand the feelings. So I want to help the people that are alive and the spirits, because some of them aren't okay up there. I want to help them too. So it's helping the living and the dead. You know, to move forward, to feel lighter, to go into the light. Those who need the most help, the suicides, overdoses, sudden deaths. And yeah, I've got this ability, but I don't want to do regular future stuff. I want to help those who need it the most.
Right, like currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say is like one of the most interesting experiences you've had with what you do? Without sharing, I know you can't share too much.
That's fine. The best one, I think, was back when I was in Massachusetts, and I did a reading for a woman who asked about her husband's father. And the husband's father had died when the husband was about 6 years old, so the husband never really even knew him. And the spirit, it felt like a suicide to me. It ended up he was on a snowmobile, and he went over a lake that was not good, and he knew it. And it was an accident, but it wasn't. And apparently the wife at the time, the dead man's wife, the husband's mother, was very nasty to him, and the older brother, they were nasty to the father. And so the spirit felt very much down like this. But the fact that the wife was asking about him, and he gave me various things that were that she could identify as being that's him. By the end of the reading, the spirit felt like he was standing up. He felt better. She invited him into the home to see stuff, and he told me, I said, what's with your driveway? Your driveway is messed up. She goes, yeah, we're trying to do that. And he goes, I said, you're trying to plant stuff? And she goes, yeah. And he's like, he pats her on the back like, nice try. And because I guess the plants weren't blooming or something, and so she laughed. And the spirit said, he said, you need to get a mirror about this wide with gold coming out of it. Because when you look in that mirror, I need you to see you the way I see you, which is as an angel with the gold rays coming in.
That's beautiful.
So it is, and that stayed with me. So I actually found little mirrors like that at the dollar store, and I spray painted them gold. And my clients that come over, because we're always so hard on ourselves, my clients who are healers, that need to be told they're healers, that they are good people, I give them these mirrors. And I say, you need to see yourself the way the spirits see you, the way the Christ, whatever God, deity you believe in, sees you, as this with the halo coming out.
That's beautiful.
So that was beautiful when the spirit said that. It was just it caught me off guard. So that was like the most poignant thing.
Wow, that is beautiful.
And
that's
then
a really
it was
great
and
idea too.
It's like you can't. And it was just a phone reading too. You can't describe it, and you can't prove that it's real. But at the end, that spirit felt like he was standing up straight. He felt bright. Whereas in the beginning, he felt down like this.
Right.
And she was getting the goosebumps, and she had the tears, and she could feel it too. So that was amazing.
Oh wow, that's
was.
really cool. I love that idea.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
It was crazy, but yeah.
Now, we, a few minutes ago, you got a reading, a bone reading.
Yep.
A few minutes
Yes,
ago,
it was
you
amazing.
were talking about death doula.
Yes.
And can you talk about that for just a minute?
I've been looking into doing death doula, but being a spiritual death doula, because a regular doula helps babies come into the world. But I want to help people go out of this world.
Right.
I want to help them go back home. And to me, that's beautiful. Death is beautiful because you're going home. You're done with this test. You're done. No more crap. You're going home. And how beautiful is that? You're free. You can go. You can shuffle off the mortal coil.
Right.
So to me, that's beautiful. And I was blessed enough to be able to go see our friend Julie's grandmother in hospice, and she was out of it, and she's Catholic and I'm Catholic, able to pray the rosary over her, and it just was beautiful, and I know she appreciated it. And the next day, actually, I had a client who was himself extremely psychic, And he told me, even though I was getting rid of him, he told me there was a woman coming through. She said she's not family, but she was wearing flowers, lots of flowers. And she said she loves me and that she thanks me for being at the bed. And I'm like, oh my God, that's her because she's Hawaiian. So the Hawaiian flowers is what he showed me. And that she's not family, but not blood family. And it was like the next day. And she was very happy because she knew that I had said the rosary over her and it was so important for her. Being Catholic, so that was just like beautiful. So, to me, seeing someone die, and I worked at a funeral home for a little while, that's beautiful to me. You know, everyone else is sad, but and of course it's sad.
It is sad because you miss them.
But it's like how beautiful. Be happy for them. You know, be happy. They're free.
They've
They're free.
completed what
They're
they
completed here, and they're going to keep learning up there. And the biggest thing that clients come to me with is, I feel so bad. I wasn't there when they died. I said this to them when they were alive. I said this, and they're like, no. Okay, it doesn't matter. What's there is the love. Even if you are not physically present, when they pass, your love energy, your vibration is there. It is there, whether you're 3,000 miles away, and that's what they feel. They feel that. Anything you say to them while alive, it's human. It's nothing. It's stupid. Because love, the vibration of love, that's what's real. So they see, because they're now pure. They see you at your purity, not your human flaws. This is what you focus on. So we do a lot of cleansing the negative energy from them, calling the Archangel Raphael and their guides, and to help the angels help with the cleansing so they feel lighter. Because when you're there in spirit, I mean, you still have work to do, but it's so much lighter. They see things so differently. People come to me and they say, well, what do they want us to do with their business? Are they happy with what I did?
Doesn't matter, right?
They don't care. They're like, are you happy with it? If you're happy, then okay, because if your intentions are good, that's all that matters. And I get some people coming to me saying, well, you're Catholic, how can you do this? And I'm a Baptist, is this not in the Bible? It's like, no, Jesus is cool. Jesus is cool. If you
He was a game changer.
That he was. If you prefer Odin, whoever, Buddha, whoever you want, Muhammad, they're cool. Everybody's cool up there. They want you to see what works for you. Jesus is cool. I got my candle with Jesus being like that. It's like everybody's cool. So you don't need to worry about religion and do this. If your intentions are good and you try to help people, it's okay with that.
And keep your side of the street clean. I've always heard that.
Exactly. Yep. And just do
one of my good friends taught me that.
Yeah. And keep it clean. And just, it's so much easier on their side. They don't have the same hang-ups we do.
Right.
And people are so hung up about dying. That's why I want to get into depth with it, because I want to let them know that where they're going, it's okay. You're not going to get judged. You're going to get helped. It's helping, not judgment. There is no hell. Anything, your mind, if you think there's a hell in your bag, you're going there, what your mind creates will be. But there is no established hell.
Yeah.
Every spirit can go into the light if it wants to and get the help that it needs. And I want to reassure people that are dying that, so you messed up a couple of times. You're here to mess up. Did you learn from your mistakes? Okay, then fine. We're good. You're good. That's all there is.
That's all there is to it.
Is you learned. You learned. And that it's like walking in one room. There's no pain. There's nothing. So I want to help them. I want to reassure them that going home, because that's what they're doing, going home, that it's okay, that it's going to make them laugh, feel good, and just be happy, excited to go. It's a trip of a lifetime,
Right,
You're going
right.
home.
Right.
Figure, what is all this about? I once had a spirit. It was a teenage boy that died, and I swear to God, he showed me he's going down the tunnel, right? And he stopped to spray paint dicks on the tunnel, because that's the punk that he was. He was like spray paint, and the girl that was the girlfriend would started laughing. She's like, he would do that. He would stop and spray dicks everywhere just to be.
That's
And
funny.
the spirits were just laughing about it, because he just stopped it. They're like, all right, we'll wait. You're going to spray painting your dick in the tunnel that you're going, but okay, sure.
Oh my gosh, that's
so
awesome.
that was hysterical. Yeah.
That is.
And they have a sense of humor. And they also, the guides also say too, like, here, because spirituality is so much bigger now, and everyone tries to be own. And they're like, no, get angry. You're supposed to, show emotion. Like, didn't Jesus get angry in the temple? Yeah. Everybody else got angry. Muhammad got angry, Buddha got angry, you get angry.
It's an emotion. Process it.
Feel the emotions. And just be who you are,
That's fabulous. That's fun.
It's
Well,
amazing.
I want to have you on as a special guest of the show if you would like to
I
do
would
that.
absolutely love that.
That would be really neat.
I would love
And
that. Thank you. I'm honored.
how can people find you?
They can find me by going to my website at www.butyouDidn'tSayGoodbye.com, no apostrophes. And I have a schedule thing because I'm usually working. I work on an army base or do my readings, and I hate phone calls. There's a quick little form to fill out, and I'll be able to email you right back with dates, times, and things like that. That's the best way to get a hold of me. To do that. And our readings, the video, phone, whatever. The medium doesn't matter how you do it. Phone. If they got something to say, they're gonna come through. But the most important thing, if you come to me or any medium, whatever, is be open to it. Be enthusiastic. Be happy because your energy's up, my energy's up, energy's better.
Right.
But if you come and you're flat, you're like, no, I don't know.
Is this really working?
Then it's like, you know what? I can't read you. You need to up the energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes it so much easier, and, you know, and you get a lot more out of it.
But you know what I do? When my clients come in, right? I used to, my dance studio too, is I'm chewing gum. And I say, "You want a piece of gum?" And they usually, yeah. So take it out. And then just looking at their faces like,
what am I supposed to
I
do
don't
with
know,
that?
I don't want to insult her. And then it makes them laugh, you know, kind of like ease it up and stuff.
Get that energy out.
Yeah. And then I give them a clean piece of gum.
Get that energy. That's really cute.
Yeah, so it's just
It's really cute.
You know, something silly, being funny, being silly. You know, that's what will raise your energy more than anything.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. That's a really cute idea. I may have to
Steal it, absolutely. It's all yours.
I steal stuff from people all the time, but I'm like, okay, I'm stealing this for you. It is what it is.
Yep.
You know. So. Well, thank you for being on.
Thank you. I am honored.
And I will talk to you very soon.
All right. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you.
That concludes another episode of Everyday Witchcraft. I want to thank you for tuning in, and special thanks goes to Julie McMohan for letting us go to her shop and do a couple of little shoots there. I also want to thank Phoenix Lenore. We've had her on the show before. We'll have her on again. And I thank you again for watching. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Blessed be.